you, the vibes are on life support today. Y'all, it has come to my attention that we are due for a fresh TEPID Takes. I am so tired, which means one of two things. Either I'm running on fumes and I'm going to be delirious and this video is going to be hilarious because I'm just going to be like, ha-cha-cha, you know what I mean? Or you're going to be able to tell exactly how dead behind the eyes I am the entire time, so if that's the case, I apologize in advance. None of us knows how this one's about to go. Also, I just like ate, I don't know, like 50 Nerds clusters before this. I don't really know what came over me. I should be napping right now. We'll get into it. Either way, I think we're gonna focus mainly on Trend Mood today because I looked at some other places and I just think that Trend Mood has like the highest concentration of the new stuff that I want to talk about right now, for better or for worse. If you're unfamiliar with the series, TEPID Takes is the series on my channel where we talk about new beauty releases, and when I say that I'm going to buy something, I mean I'm going to buy it to review for my channel so that we can have it to compare to other things, and so that I can advise you before you go out and take one for the team and spend your money on it. It is not for my own personal vanity stash, so never try to keep up with my level of consumption. I'm gonna scooch that away. I'm gonna put some images that away, and we're gonna chat through some of these things and whether I plan to buy them for my channel. Let's go. I try to keep the astrology speak to a minimum because I know it's not everyone's thing, but my God, is Mercury retrograde right now. Whew, let's get through a few of these and then I will tell you about my weekend. It began last Thursday, okay? The first thing that I'm seeing, it's so funny because I think a while back, I mean a real while back, we saw this murmur that Marc Jacobs Beauty was coming back. It was like their website had a placeholder for it and it was like coming soon, and we're like, is this a mistake? And then they announced it and they're like, it's gonna be like 2026, and we were like, that year is really, really far away. And suddenly it's 2026. Although I feel like we felt every single moment of getting us here. I don't feel like it zoomed to 2020. You know what I mean? I felt every grueling moment of it, but it does seem that we are getting a Marc Jacobs Beauty revival, which I thought the Marc Jacobs Beauty originally, like, it was pretty good idea. Poor execution on a lot of the formulas, but from a color standpoint, I remember being impressed. So it seems that this is, I just haven't been keeping up, I guess, but it seems that this is not the singular sneak peek. She's saying that this is more sneak peeks, and that what she's saying is complexion, which is really exciting. Complexion is a really expensive thing to do, especially to do it well. And I like the idea of Marc Jacobs Beauty having the experience that they do under their belts, probably hiring some people who are very experienced, we can only hope, and really having the money to invest in this so that we could actually get something like a banger right out of the gate, especially from a shade range standpoint. I wouldn't be surprised, this is me just speculating, I wouldn't be surprised if they're kind of coming for a similar market to Prada. You know, it's gonna be that little bit of like classic meets modern, like that chic cross section there. I think that Marc Jacobs is always gonna be a little more tongue-in-cheek about it, a little more lowbrow, but I like that. I always like to see their spin on things, and I absolutely, like, whenever it comes out, you can bet your bottom dollar I'm gonna be buying it. We'll definitely be keeping an eye on that release. We have new stuff from Hung Van Go. Reveal, new for the lips, glossy lip hue hydrating lip shine. I'll zoom through this. A hybrid gloss lipstick and balm, highly pigmented glossy lip shine infused with hyaluronic acid and plant collagen, delivering a nourishing wash of color and a stunning high shine finish with a cooling metal applicator, delivers an easy application, $26. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, what, 12 shades, I think? I just kind of think it's a bold move at this point. Like, I'm not even gonna say that it's unwise. I think that looking at the current makeup environment, looking at the store, it is a bold move to come out and be like, no, my tinted lip balm in a squeezy tube is gonna be the one that breaks the mold. Roll the clip.
Imagine how tired we are. Imagine how tired we are of it.
Patrick Ta, Road, Summer Fridays. How is this continuing to happen? When is enough enough? Clearly not now.
It's like they all somehow got marching orders that they were like, if you want to be a makeup brand at Sephora, you have to have a line of tinted lip balms in a squeezy tube. And everybody's just like, again. And I loved Hung Van Gogh's original release. I bought kind of one of everything. And I would love to believe. I want to believe that these are different. You know, it's like a hybrid lipstick kind of thing. Maybe they have more pigment to them. Like I said in my original Hung Van Gogh review, I was like, I'm gonna keep my eye on this brand. I think in the spirit of that and not being immediately judgmental, I'm going to probably buy one and just try it, because I bought this overglaze from Ilia and I was like, you know, a lot of things can happen in a lip gloss. There are a lot of moving parts. It's worth reporting on. And I ended up really being pleased with what they chose to do with this formula, because it's like a liquid lip balm and I don't think it's fragranced. I like the color level of it, and like there just aren't as many of this kind of formula out on the market as there were a handful of years ago, and I know a lot of people really love these because they're not sticky. All that to say, maybe there's something about these that is different. And you know what? I'm going to unburden you, the consumer, from wondering. That's my job, you know, to take that for the collective and be like, is this different? It might not be, but that's my $26, okay? That's the point. Revealed, new for the face, new products from Nars. Nars is on a roll, she says. Natural matte longwear foundation. So I guess they are reformulating this? I thought that this already existed. Natural matte longwear foundation, $55. A pore perfecting serum-like formula, high performance, medium to full coverage, delivers a soft focus effect that instantly blurs the look of imperfections. Visibly improves skin texture, buildable with a natural matte finish. 49 shades. I'm gonna say probably not. I will make a trip to Sephora once this is out and swatch it and see what the dry down is like. But even the light reflecting foundation from Nars being silicone free, the performance just, I mean, it's beautiful, but the performance just wasn't really there for me, especially, that was many years ago, and we have come so far in terms of performance for complexion products since then. We have Lisa Eldridge, we have Prada. I don't even need to go past that. I mean, I love the Chanel foundations too, and it just didn't really impress me. And also, I have lost count of how many of their concealers I've bought. The regular Radiant concealer or whatever, and also the pot concealer, and I've yet to find in a concealer a match for me, like something that actually looks natural on me. And I'll go and swatch in store and I still have never found anything that like will cover a zit on me, whereas I can wear, you know, 3, 4, 5 shades of other brands, of Kosas, of Tower 28, things like that. And I just don't know if this was the best matte foundation in the world, whether I'm the person to tell you that, because I have extraordinarily dry skin. But they have other things here. They have the light reflecting luminizing stick and the light reflecting luminizing blush. I'm curious. Like, I'm curious about these highlighters. They look pretty. They look like they pack a beautiful punch, but also that they have a really pretty texture to them, because they did a clear one, which y'all know, and if you don't know, I'll tell you. The Chanel Baume Essentiel, that stick, it's just the best. I want to see if Nars has a take on that. I'm not like, oh, it's the only one that can do that. Show me something awesome. Some's good, more is better. 2 cakes, you know? And then we have these blushes that are so shimmery, but I'm also like, those kind of look a little, some of the shades look a little bit like the Gucci ones that came out that were actually really great. So again, I think it's my job. I have been keeping up with Nars enthusiastically lately because of the things that they've been releasing, and I think that I will probably still buy like one of each of these, of the like highlighter and shimmering blush situations. If they like were to reformulate the light reflecting foundation and actually put like silicone in it, I think that they'd have a winner for me, but I don't see that happening. I don't even know where to begin on Rare Beauty right now, especially as I am looking at what can only be described as an eyeshadow palette. I can't think of any other descriptors. I don't want to call it boring, because boring to me is kind of a compliment. I like when something's boring. I don't want to call it basic, because I don't think that it's basic for everyone. I don't think that those colors would work particularly well even for me. And to say that I hate that packaging, I hate that packaging on the level of how I hate like REM Beauty's packaging, where it's just like, why? You know what I mean? Like, why did we go for everything being pill shaped? It just, it's so austere, it's so sterile, to the point that it's like we've jumped the shark. Like, give me something to sink my teeth into. It's like, it's trying so hard not to offend you. I don't like people like that. I don't want to be a person like that. And I also just get an ick in the vibes off a product like that, where it's like, why are you so scared to be wrong? So scared that someone is going to not like you, that you're going to just completely homogenize and flatten out all your ideas. It is absolutely nothing. I'm not saying that you're boring for buying it. I feel just a little bit offended by how little attention it looks like went into it, that's all. You know, I want to feel your passion. I always say I don't want to listen to a band that's like graphic designers during the day. I want you to be giving your all to your art, and nothing about this says that Selena Gomez or anyone else was passionate about it. Why am I going to be passionate about it? Excuse me? I don't know, maybe my rock is so far away from this particular rock that I didn't know that Quicksilver was still a brand, or is it because we're back in 2006? I don't know. This is crazy. Reveal. Wow, this is one of those full circle moments for me. I used to say hello to the new fragrance collections by Quicksilver. The names of these are Offshore, Beach Point, Slopeside, and Snowbank. Roll the clip. It's just something that's such a trope from our childhood to, like, as a person living in the most landlocked part of North Florida, we would still walk our Floridian teenage buns into a PacSun, which I'm sure is where this is going to be sold, and try and buy a West Coast surfer snowboarder lifestyle. We would try so hard, and let me tell you, if it's not you, it's not you, and it wasn't me, but man, I wore those toe rings into my 20s. I can't even imagine what they smell like. Orange blossom lavender, water lily, Thalassogia, TM, sandalwood cedar, oak moss, amber musk. Oh, I can smell this kid's car, you know what I mean? Yikes, this is in lieu of a bath. Like, it's just, ah. Thank you for going on that detour with me. Obviously, I'm not going to be buying Quicksilver fragrance, but it's funny. Okay, new for the lips. And listen, I know it's naive for me to say this because I know that there are like reasons that brands do both at the same time, but like, McGrath just filed for bankruptcy. She's gone to Louis Vuitton. No one's been at the helm for a while. Is anyone surprised? But we are still getting some new products from the death throes and last gasps of Pat McGrath Labs. I don't know if they're gonna actually go under. They'll probably just get acquired. Either way, dual-ended essential 2-in-1 sculpt with liner shade with lipstick. Oh, sculpt with liner shade with lipstick. Got it. Got it. Creamy matte liner, velvet satin lipstick, weightless, vibrant color, unrivaled glide. You know, her lipstick colors and formulas used to be really unique. I will say none of these colors particularly appeals to me. I feel like everything that MAC is doing right now with their nudes is way more interesting than this, and I think that that's probably what's befalling someone like Pat McGrath, because the artistry brands have been investing a lot of time in R&D and whatever over the last couple of years, I think preparing in 2026 to really move back to their roots and do it with enthusiasm and with thought. And Pat McGrath, being a brand that was so artistry oriented, she would really benefit from doing the same thing right now, but no one's been paying any attention over at her company. Like, no one's been sitting there investing R&D dollars to figure out how to get back to an artistry standpoint where someone actually has a gosh darn point of view. They don't have that. They're just kind of running out of runway. So yeah, it just feels like they've fallen behind officially, and they know it. I won't be buying this. I saw this a bit ago, and I do feel like Nars, again, Nars has two Narses. There is Nars that's making the stuff that is guaranteed to sell. It's over here with like the face palettes and maybe the foundation and complexion products. They're really catering to a much wider audience of like maximizing LTV, right? Lifetime value. These are people who are just going to kind of keep buying basics from Nars. And then they have these things where they're kind of, you know, just doing something interesting, pushing the boundaries a little bit, just a little bit. And they're coming out with the multiple stick in contoury bronzery shades, and I love it. I'm here for it. Me and Rebecca are planning to do a video together when she is here in March. And one of our favorite things to do is just watch things that are meant to do one thing and they do them on me because I am neutral, and then watch them just absolutely crash and burn and turn hot orange on her skin. It's gonna be fun. Stay tuned for that. But Nars has also put out at least one new shade of their lipstick that I love, the explicit lipstick in Morocco, warm cinnamon. Girl, yes. On my channel, I know I typically try to steer towards things that are like olive undertone friendly, and I do not think that this is categorically that unless what you are going for is orange, okay? Which is allowed. There's nothing wrong with orange makeup. You just don't want to get orange when you weren't wanting orange. Morocco, that's a color for me. I love a bold coral lip. I like church lady coral, okay? I like it. It's fun. I love wearing coral blush in the summer, and that is just, oh, I love, first of all, I should back up. I love the explicit lipstick formula, and this color, you know what it looks like? It looks like the La Perla lipsticks that I was just talking about in a couple videos ago. La Perla had this like moment where they were at Nordstrom, and I bought one of each of the formulas. Like there's a lipstick and like a tinted balm or whatever. It's also a lipstick. And they're both kind of this color. Like one's a little beiger, but they both have a similar effect. And my goodness gracious, that's just so gosh darn pretty. I think I need that. So I think we're gonna do, you know, some dedicated Nars content coming up here because they're just doing really pretty things. So yeah, I think I will probably get at least one of those contours, and then Morocco. That color is happiness for me. Ooh, it's so rich and lovely. Replica, you know what? No. No. You've done me dirty too many times. Not only did Replica discontinue Matcha Meditation, which is one of the only personal fragrances that they've ever put out that I actually like to wear, but I mean, thank God, they've been sending them to me, okay? And they probably won't anymore because I'm way too honest. But Margiela thankfully keeps sending me their fragrances, and I'm very grateful for that. But they keep getting my gosh darn hopes up, okay? The scent profiles of these releases as they announce them are intoxicating sounding. And then I smell them and I'm like, where's the mandarin? You know what I mean? Where's the bergamot? Where's the lemon? Where's the Sicilian citrus, you know? My boyfriend wears the Acqua di Parma Arancio di Capri. I could have done that with an Italian accent. I'm not going to, but I could have. And that is so divine that my mother actually stole his bottle and I had to open another one. It's so intoxicatingly lovely, but I'm so sick of these brands telling me that I'm going to get a delicious citrus fragrance and it just ends up being a total flop when I get it in my hands. So this new one is called Chasing Sunsets. Listen, I haven't looked, but I bet it's gonna be like coconutty anyway. Sunscreeny. All right. Experience a tropical sunset as juicy mango mingles with a bouquet of solar white flowers and creamy sandalwood, capturing Brazil's beach spirit. So no, it doesn't appear to have any coconut. They say the provenance and period is Ipanema 1965. I'm all set. I don't need a mango fragrance anyway, but oh, they want me to buy it to layer with Beach Walk. Of course you do. Yeah, neither of those is a complete thought, so. Oh boy, I have become a hater. I'm tired of being disappointed. It's not just that I don't like the fragrances, it's that they don't seem to have a point of view. You know? It's like I want a fragrance house to at least have a point of view. I haven't loved a lot of the things Fleur has been coming out with lately, but they have a point of view. And I respect that. YSL Love Nude Kiss Shaper Lip Liner Pass. I don't need that. You know what I mean? It's probably $1 million for a freaking lip liner. I don't need to know that I'm using a, you know, luxury fashion house's lip liner. I'm very happy with my Revie lip liners. Ooh, and Coolfie sent me a few of their new ones too. I'm wearing the brown one right now and it is just very nice. Dior Quint another thing that I'm not gonna do again. I said I wasn't gonna do it again last year and I still bought one and I spent like 2 videos complaining about it. I'm not gonna put y'all through that again. Dior has absolutely no idea what they're doing with these quints, which is hilarious because the 9 pans that they put out for Dior Backstage are brilliant, but these quints are infuriating. Like there is that one in the bottom left that looks like, hey Kackie, I've got something that looks like beige mitzvah in me. Maybe it does, maybe it actually does. But regardless, fool me 12 times, shame the heck on me. Okay. Hourglass is coming out with a version of their liquid highlighter. I was talking like an influencer there for a second. Hourglass is coming out with Hourglass is releasing, or probably has already released, the Unreal Liquid Highlighter. While I loved these blushes, I thought they were very, very pretty. There are so many easier ways to put on blush, and I'm just not gonna reach for it, okay? It doesn't have that special of an appearance once it's on the skin that makes me go, ah yes, I must reach for the drippy drippy thing that I have to and then I have to you know what I mean? Gives me anxiety putting a liquid directly on my face sometimes, and I would just rather something that's already a little more stable. Liquid can just be so hit and miss. It's probably beautiful. Honestly, it's probably beautiful, and there's no guarantee that I won't try it, but like I think is even if I love it, I don't think that I would use it very much. Today, I am wearing this lovely little classic, Kjaer Weis in Inner Glow, as my, you know, texture on my cheeks right there. That's what I'm going for. Saie Gosh Darn Beauty, you're gonna put out a new Super Suede Radiant Talc-Free Baked Powder. Here's the thing with Saie is they have a shade range for their sun melt that is good. It's been around for years, and then they expanded the shade range and they made it a little bit better even. Why on earth did we get this? Why did we get this? 6 shades of like skipping around weirdness. I don't know, it looks a lot like the Rare Beauty release where I swatched them in store and the 2 lightest shades were inexplicable. So yeah, I don't think so. Saie has a hard time getting my money anyway, but that's a very, very strange release. Oh, I'm gonna tell y'all about my weekend real quick. Let us detour. And you can skip through this if you want, but my God, it's a story worth telling. So my mom came to visit this weekend, and she is flying from Tallahassee, Florida, and she has to connect through Charlotte because Tallahassee, Florida is nowhere. According to the airlines, it is nowhere, and it's like, why would we have a direct flight anywhere from Tallahassee, Florida? No one lives there, right? It is always like this. It's always a headache, but this was just like such a specific headache. My mom sends me a screenshot while she's still at the Tallahassee airport. Yes, we do have an airport, believe it or not. She's gotten a new flight. She's already through security, but she's gotten a new flight because Charlotte has delays. I live in New Jersey. We fly into Newark usually. And so she sends me this screenshot. And so I picked up the phone and I called her and I was like, Mom, what is this? And she's like, oh, they had to change my flight. And I was like, that's all well and good. Why are they landing you in LaGuardia? And she was like, what? And I was like, yeah, this flight goes into LaGuardia. And she's like, oh God, let me go talk to the gate agent. Calls me back and she's like, it's just not gonna happen. I'm not gonna be able to get in at least until tomorrow. And I was like, what about Philadelphia? And she was like, how far is Philadelphia for you? I was like, yeah, you know, an hour, give or take, something like that. And she was like, let me call you back. And so she got a flight into Philadelphia. And we were like, we will drive to Philadelphia. That will be fun. It was just me and Alex. As we get in the car to go to Philadelphia, the time estimate on Google Maps goes from an hour to an hour and 45 minutes. And we're like, oh, we're gonna be so late. What happened? You know what I mean? It's like 6 p.m. Regardless, going into Philly was not going to be the traffic situation that would be like leaving Philly during rush hour, right? So we're driving, we're stuck in this stop and go traffic. And then we realize, oh, it's because there is what is the sports ball team? It was a basketball game. Sixers, that's the one. The Sixers had a game because I know everything about sports, and so we were stuck in essentially traffic getting to the arena. So then once we got past the arena, wow, gosh darn, really cleared out. We were really making good time towards the airport, and then I called my mom and I was like, hey, we're about 10 minutes out. She's like, LOL, the conveyor belt broke, so I can't get my luggage. And I was like, what do you mean you can't get your, like, don't they have other conveyor belts, or couldn't they just hand it to you? Nope, had to wait for the conveyor belt to get fixed. unreal. We're all losing our minds. It's only been an hour, you know, that we're gonna get there, like past the dinner reservation that I had made in Philly so that we could eat, right? We're past that, but they've got plenty of tables open and we're gonna get back over there. So we wait in the cell phone lot for a really long time, and then we finally go get my mom. I have to circle back around because my mom's like, I'm here. And I'm like, Mom, this is the Philadelphia airport. Like, you have to tell me where you are. You can't just be like, I'm outside. The place is huge, you know, so like finally get her. And we get to downtown Philly, and I guess because of the game on a Thursday, we couldn't find parking to save our lives. To save our lives. No parking garages, no street parking, nothing. Nothing. And after driving around for 25 minutes, we swapped so that I didn't have to drive anymore, and we went home. And on the way home, hungry, so hungry, we decided, okay, well, we will order food from the restaurant near us. It's quite good. So we pick out what we're going to have, but we're waiting to get closer to home before we order it so that it'll be, you know, on time, won't take very long. Well, when we get within range, they closed. So that was that. And my mom and I were so hungry, and we ended up, Alex was like, what about hot wings? And I was like, correct. And so we ordered hot wings, and I ate hot wings for dinner, and we watched Love on the Spectrum because we're obsessed with Love on the Spectrum. I feel like there was one more thing. That's the one. That's the one. Okay, so all of last weekend, 2 weekends ago, we were so snowed in up here that I wanted to make my grandmother's vegetable soup. It's a pressure cooker vegetable soup. It's very inexpensive to make once you have the ingredients. It's like, you know, frozen vegetables and stuff like that. And it calls for 2 ham hocks. You know, you stick the ham hocks in the pressure cooker for 45 minutes and it just makes a delicious broth that's a wonderful base for vegetable soup. We could not find ham hocks to save our lives, and honestly everything was so hard to get that Alex ended up ordering from so many different grocery stores. This ended up being like one of the most expensive vegetable soups imaginable, right? Just to get like different things from different places because, you know, no one could get out or anything. Spoiler, he never got the ham hocks, okay? So my mom finally comes to town and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna give the ham hocks one last chance because it would be really great to have the vegetable soup with my mom because, you know, it's our family's classic recipe. And my mom's from Florida and she's cold being here. So I order on Thursday ham hocks and some other things, but mainly the ham hocks, and we were just like crossing our fingers. We're like, you know, whatever. If we get it, we get it. If we don't, we don't. We get back from the airport, you know, at God knows when, and I open the front door and there are no groceries there. And I was like, did someone steal our groceries? No one's ever stolen a package from my front stoop. Ever. I have the best neighbors in the world. Alex goes, is there a chance that they delivered it to the wrong house? Sometimes that happens. And so I checked the photo, the confirmation of delivery, and I was like, you're never gonna guess what I did. And he was like, what? I said, do you remember when we were looking, because we've been house hunting. I said, remember when we drove out to the boondocks? The boondocks. Like 30 minutes away. And we loved the house. And we were just trying to see if it would work with commute times and stuff and whether the delivery apps would deliver there. And so I was testing to see if DoorDash would deliver there. And he goes, oh no. I was like, I had our stuff delivered to an empty house 30 minutes away. And so I had to go the next day in my pajamas. I was bitter. I was over it. And go to this uninhabited house that we have no intention of buying and pick up our ham hocks that a creature had gotten into, because of course it had, but it was a small creature, thank goodness, it was not a bear. And so like 3 of them were completely untouched and still covered in cellophane, and then we just ended up throwing one of them out. But yeah, I would have been really sad if I hadn't included the ham hock part of it. I had to go back to a voice memo that I sent to Rebecca that was like collaborative of all of us telling the story because it was just an absolute fiasco. Rebecca responded with this gif, if you know, you know. So that was how my weekend began. It didn't really get worse from there, but I'm exhausted. My mother is nocturnal. I stayed up so late every night. She's so nocturnal. And I get up at 6:15 with my child every morning. I'm so tired. So anyway, that brings y'all up to speed. Oh, but we got a house. We got got a freaking house, y'all. We got it. We got a bid accepted. Last night we found the perfect house and they accepted our offer and we're gonna move and I'm so excited. This house, I mean, it's been great for what it was and I'm very grateful for it, but my God, we are bloating this place. It is just spilling out everywhere. It is for someone and it was for me for a while and it's just not for me anymore, you know what I mean? So we're just really excited. We're really, really excited. We're grateful. I can't wait to just start throwing stuff out. You're not coming with me in the next phase of my life. Okay, wow. That was a life update. Maybe I'll call this Tepid Takes on a life update. Let's finish up with the new releases. Wow, I said finish up. I didn't mean I thought that we were actually done. We're actually kind of done. Let me see if Amit has anything. Not that I'm not, you know what I mean? I still check Makeup on Your Radar. She had a bunch of indie releases up and that's just not really my thing. It just didn't happen to align with what I wanted to talk about today. The new RMS quads, they offered them in gifting for me today. And so I got 2 of them. So I'll be reviewing this. I also have the new RMS Refresh Eye Brighteners here. This will be, you know, coming up very soon. Clé de Peau, what is that color? Clé de Peau might actually get my money for the first time in my life. Look at that color. Look at that color, Olives. What is that? Ooh, Coco Dahlia. Listen, I know this is gonna be $100 for a lipstick, but like Coco Dahlia, let's talk about it. I mean, in the future, not right now. I can't really say much else about it except that like, that is such an interesting purpley desaturated like gray brown. It looks like Gone Grayish and I'm so here for it. Believe it or not, I can wear colors like that if they're the right formula, but regardless, I gotta see it on Rebecca, you know? Heck yes, that excites me. That's what I was looking for, Celine. So Celine seems to be releasing in Japan. The collection will be available in 8 shades from nude to brown, red, pink, and clear. It does look like it's going to be a matte balm, which is what we're loving right now. It's definitely what I'm loving right now. Yeah, it's really sheer, but the colors do look very Asian market, meaning that they, you know, all kind of have a base of like pinky red, which is not usually my thing, but we shall see. We shall see. Release date April 26th, we shall see. Oh, the other thing that I didn't talk about was that Nars in all of its stuff is going to be putting out a blue, I guess they already have, a blue Afterglow lip balm that is not pH color adjusting, and y'all know how much I love a blue lip balm, okay? Like, yes, Ichiban lipstick for men, like, absolutely. Okay, all right, Farrah Hamidi is releasing, or probably has released, 2 essential eye compacts. Nothing has ever said novelty pop of blue like this does. I'm not saying that this is like a bad idea, and eye look using these things is a bad idea. I am saying that they didn't show any models wearing it. Farrah Hamidi doesn't make just random decisions. I haven't loved her products necessarily, but usually these things are like educated decisions. And the other one, you know, they just replace the blue with the black. But like, I don't think that that's for me. And you know it's going to be $75. No, oh, Kackie, you naive boob. It is $98. No. No, the shadows in my palette, as gorgeous as they are going to be like $5 a shade, not $30 to $25 a shade. Like that's what in the what? What in the what? You know, I always say, if you're gonna come out swinging, but that's like coming out choosing violence. All right, I think that that's a good place to stop. If Laura Mercier sends me these blushes, that would be killer because they're really, really beautiful. I love them. We will see if I get to like pick some out of gifting or something like that. If not, I might buy one. I'm already digressing. I think that that's it. So thank you for all the people who sat and listened to my silly, silly story. And thank you also for being here and listening to me. I mean, I think that this went full dead behind the eyes. Sorry about that, y'all. I actually blacked out and don't know what I said throughout this entire video. It's going to be a total surprise to me while I'm editing it. But if you just can't get enough of me, I am over on Substack and I'm going to open up a members only chat. I have never done that before. I've never done that before. I never had my DMs open or anything. But I realized that I'm not doing a whole lot of like Q&As and stuff anymore in terms of this or that and stuff, because we were just doing all the same products for so long that I think that's gonna be a new place to do that. So if you wanna come over there and join me, you also get, you know, my whites. I type them, I say things, I try to help, you know. I'm number 3 rising in humor right now. I didn't think I was funny, but there you go. So anyway, yeah, I will link that below. I hope y'all are doing great. And I don't know if you noticed, but the sun is coming out and next week is daylight savings. And there was a tufted titmouse in my bird feeder this morning, which means that spring, in fact, is actually coming. We did it, Joe. So that's all I've got for y'all today. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, please give the video a thumbs up. If you're new here or you just have simply not subscribed yet, please subscribe while you're here. We would love to have you. I will put a video up here that I think that you'll enjoy if you liked this one. Thanks so much, y'all, for hanging out with me today. I love you so gosh darn much. I'm so grateful for y'all to allow me to be an idiot on the internet every day. So I will hopefully see you in the next one.